Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Esther Perez, and today I'm going to be walking you through the two Airbnbs I stayed at while I was in San Juan. One area was in Condado and the other one was in Santurce. So I'm going to walk you guys through the Airbnbs and give you some pros and cons to both locations. Let's go. I'm also watching, I'm reviewing it from my laptop, so you'll see me looking down at my laptop. But San Juan was amazing. If you're thinking about going, definitely book that trip. It is one of the best places I think I've been to, and if you follow my channel, you know I've been to a lot of different areas, so I definitely recommend going and just doing all of the experiences. The first Airbnb we stayed at was on Ashford Avenue. If you're familiar with the area, this is the spot where it's super close to the Condado beach. It's got a lot of touristy feel to it. It was maybe like a 5-minute walk, if that, to the beach, so it was really close to the beach. And like I said, this area is filled with tourists. We stayed really close to the Marriott. In case you're looking at the area and on the map, I would say the Marriott was right across the street from the Airbnb we were at. The Airbnb itself was nice. This was a 1-bedroom and we did work from there, and it was a little tough for both of us to work from there. I knew since it didn't have a dedicated workspace, it would be tough to work from that spot, but I really wanted us close to the beach, and this was one of the best Airbnbs I found for the price and for how close it was to the beach. Having a walk-in shower was really important for us because we did travel with our dog, and so after beach days, we would throw her into the shower. I can't imagine there being a tub in the bathroom. That would have been really awful. We were able to see the beach from our condo only over other buildings, so it wasn't right on the beach, but it was really close enough. And what I really liked about the Ashford Avenue area was that there was a supermarket, there's a lot of food spots. It definitely made it really easy to not have a car in that area. So if you're trying to travel without a vehicle, I definitely think staying in the Condado area would be really smart to have to avoid any type of fees or Uber rides to grocery stores, markets, restaurants, because it was such a walkable area. And this Airbnb definitely was owned by a larger company. It definitely had a feel they just bought up places to Airbnb amount, and I could tell that just based off of the way they were responding. It wasn't really kept up with. If you moved some of the shades, or if you were out on the balcony, you could see parts of the siding or the wall had ripped off because of maybe a windstorm. So I would say keep that in mind if you're traveling. Maybe look and see who the host is, if it's a huge rental company or if it's a local person who owns Airbnb. So in total for 9 nights at this Airbnb, it was around $1,465, and it's USD, and it, I think, was worth it. I think in general, traveling to Puerto Rico can be kind of pricey. I think that's what a lot of content traveler people don't really want to tell you. They'll say how to travel on a budget, and then it's still they're leaving out a cost. And so I think we traveled well because we didn't go, renting a car. We stayed in Airbnbs. We stayed in Airbnbs that were very walkable. So I would just keep that in mind though. If you're planning a trip to Puerto Rico, expect higher costs in comparison to areas like Dominican Republic or Mexico, where the Airbnb costs are a lot cheaper. Now, if you're staying at an Airbnb long-term like we did, I think it was really important that we had a nice comfy bed. We did sacrifice and not have a TV in the room, but we did have a washer and dryer, and it came with a lot of beach supplies, so I thought that was nice that they included all that in this Airbnb. Overall, I think if we plan to go back, which we do plan to go back, I did really like staying in that Condado area because walking to the beach was really great with our dog versus catching an Uber or walking further. I think it made it just super easy getting to the beach and just being quick about it. We didn't do much cooking, but I will say if you're staying in this area, you can expect like a little bit of ants to be around. I think it's just really common because I was seeing that in a lot of the reviews for other Airbnbs. So I would just say make sure you're cleaning up after yourself because you can see like just ants lingering around. I think in the next Airbnb, I'll talk more about it because it definitely was a bigger issue at that one. But this one, for the most part, not many ants, but some ants were there. So yeah, this one was a 3-minute walk, if that, to the beach. It was dog friendly. A lot of good breakfast spots around. I think it was like Pinky's was one of them. I cannot remember the name of the other one, but there was a lot of good food places. I would say the cons is that very touristy. Not a lot of great like dining spots like for dinner. So breakfast and lunch were great, but like dinner time, I think like a lot of it was like very touristy feeling. But would definitely stay back in the Condado area and Ashford Avenue. So we stayed in Santurce for the second one, and we stayed on Calle del Parque. So it was a little closer to like the art museum, definitely more inland. And this felt so much more local. So once again, we worked from this area, and working from this Airbnb was so much better because they had this huge table that I could sit at. They also had like a breakfast bar as well. The kitchen, you know, was great. And there was also like a dedicated workspace. So it was like just perfect for both of us to pick up our laptops and just work from there. My gripe with this spot was that the ants were a lot more in this area, and in the directions for the Airbnb, they even said like make sure you're taking the trash out like every day, or else the ants will just like you know, be accumulated in there. Overall, I really did like this. I really liked that it was very a local feel in this part. It was further from the beach, but I think the local feel was like super cute. A lot of the places that we would go to, they spoke more Spanish than in the Condado area. I feel like Condado area was more English speaking, but in Santurce, definitely brush up on your Spanish. So for 10 nights, it was around 1,700, and once again, that's in USD. And I thought it was worth it. It was a really neat space. It was huge for the two of us plus our dog. I just don't know if I would stay in this one again because of the ants, but I would stay in the Santurce area. I actually like would love to get a place in that area because I do think it was a really great spot and not yet like super like touristy. It was still very much a local feel, which felt really nice. Once again, I made sure we had like a walk-in shower because coming back from the beach, I just cannot imagine like stepping into a tub with my dog. Both spots were super dog friendly. I will say this one was really close to a dog park. And so we really liked waking up in the morning and going to that dog park and playing around. We didn't really see anything like that in the Condado area, so really appreciate that about Santurce. There was better food spots for dinner here. If you're in this area, go check out Santa Ella. It is so good. There's also like so many other good like pizza spots too, like just really good food in this area, but I will say you'll probably have to Uber to them. This spot was not as walkable. It was like a 25-minute walk to the beach. You could Uber everywhere and it'd be like 5 minutes or less Uber, but that's an extra, you know, expense. So maybe if you stay in this area, be ready for like the Ubers. They had like a local market too in this area. It just was so much more local. So if you go to San Juan, I think both areas are great. You could stay in Santurce or Condado and you'll have a good time. I truly enjoyed both. So if you've ever gone to them, please drop in the comments because I would love to hear all about it. Thanks, see ya.